After watching the film, give a lot of credit to the West Florida football team, a very quality team they were. We had opportunities that we squandered some opportunities that I thought could have been advantageous to us. One of the things we wanted to really be good at was the middleweight, end of the second quarter, the beginning of the third quarter. I thought we managed that situation well. Go down and get 3 points at the end of the third quarter, and not give it back to our opponent. Knew they would get the ball in the third quarter. Played good defense. They punted the ball away, went 3 and out. We get the ball back. We have a very impressive drive. Go down and on fourth down, get an opportunity to convert. When we had one of our receivers that Walker Wood catches a pass after being shoved out, he immediately comes back in. Spoke to the Officials Association by it. It should have not been turned over. That would have given the ball to us at the 6-yard line. With the ball at the 6-yard line and a 10-point swing from the end of the second to the beginning of third, I thought was a huge momentum swing. And unfortunately, we were penalized for a loss of down. They get the ball, go down and score, and we have to now play catch up from an even more extended lead, which I thought was a critical part of the football game. But I thought we fought hard. We really competed all the way till the end of the game. Again, one that was of interest was an onside kick where we again sent it into the Officials Association. We did not cut block anyone, nor did we touch the ball first, but we didn't get that ball either, unfortunately. But hats off to West Florida. They're a quality team, defending national champs 2019 and number one Division II team in the country for a reason. Hopefully we'll get a chance to play that team again pretty soon. We put that one behind us and we turned our attention to one of the top tier programs in America.
Okay, Coach, go ahead and talk about the this week coming up. Obviously, it's a special one for you going back to Tiger Stadium and for a lot of players as well.
Yeah, really big deal. We get a chance to go into Death Valley and then play against a very, very talented football team. You look at their personnel on their offensive line, their defensive line, and the back end. They have length, they have speed, average 6'5" across, both defensive ends 6'5", 6'6" respectively. Have some 300-pounders inside and do so with depth. Big linebacker, 6'4", 235, 240, 6'3", 6'2". So they have size, they have speed, they have talent. They're a well-coached football team that certainly will give us all that they can. I know it'll be a big deal for LSU. It's been a year, over a calendar year, since they've been able to have full capacity in Tiger Stadium. It's their first home game, so we anticipated to be loud and rowdy, and we'll go out and we'll go compete.
Go ahead and open it up. What does it mean for you personally to go back?
Yeah.
Any special feelings?
Yeah, that LSU is near and dear to my heart. Enjoyed my years there. Very grateful for the opportunity that I had to coach on that staff and be a part of some memories that'll last for a lifetime. But I'm also proud to be the head coach at McNeese. I'm proud to bring our team into that stadium. We'll go and we'll go compete. We'll give it everything that we've got to give our team a chance to compete well and an opportunity for victory.
Going back to Saturday, real quick, were either of those plays reviewable?
No, the shove out of bounds is not reviewable. The onside was reviewed. At that point, we had no more timeouts. I would have reviewed it again if I can. I was told that it had been reviewed. Again, we turned it in. I watched it on film, then watched the television copy of it, and there was no cut block or indication to show where we touched it first.
Keeping with Saturday, Cole, we talked a little bit about putting this one behind y'all. What is going to go into the process of kind of like putting this one in the past, but still taking some lessons from that game?
Yeah, for us, we do that on Sundays. Sundays are practice day for us. We a 24-hour rule. We bask in victory, or we put the miserable feeling of a loss behind us. We finish second. We acknowledge it. We own it. We go out and we practice on those miscues and the things we didn't do well, and then we get ready for the next opponent. There's no time to labor. There's no pity party. Nobody's coming for you. And don't get too high too fast because the next opponent is coming. That's always our mentality. And so when we start this day on Monday, it's in preparation for the next opponent. It's already behind us.
Coach, is there a personnel matchup that concerns you, and on the flip side, for LSU, and on the flip side, one that you think you can pair up with and maybe take advantage?
They're a good football team. They're pretty big in stature, but I do think we have some opportunities schematically more than personnel that we can take advantage of some opportunities for our football team. We'll do those things. It's our job as a coaching staff to put our players in position to make those plays, and where we may not be able to man and move someone a certain spot to get a play, there's things we can do schematically that advantages us. And I think this week's preparation and game planning will be huge for our staff in trying to do that for our players.
Clearly, LSU over the last couple of games. Well, this one, going back to LSU, they've had defensive communication issues.
Yeah.
They seem to be burned on these crossing routes and the like. Schematically, in regards to offense, is what you're referring to?
Yeah, both. Again, I think you look at their last game. It wasn't. You'll hear people say they got pushed around. I didn't necessarily see that, although the media has reported that. I saw a team in UCLA that did things schematically that allowed them to have advantages against a very talented football team that went down to the wire. We have the utmost respect for that program, and we'll do everything in our power to try to find an advantage to give us a chance to be competitive and to win this game.
Saturday, a couple of things that seemed to, they made every play when they had a chance and you guys didn't. That was one thing. But also your handling of timeouts that cost you in the second half. You had to go for the onside kick with 2:44 left because are those things very easily cleaned up?
Yeah, the last one we burned. I had a player throwing up, and it was important that his health and welfare was of utmost importance. The officials did not stop it for a medical or personnel timeout. And so I took the liberty to do what I thought was best for our team, and that was to take heed to one of our better players on the football field so that we could play the next snap, which we felt was the most important snap at that point of the game. And so we used it. We used it accordingly. It paid dividends for us. We were able to pick up the first down, score, get the 2-point conversion, and then thought we did a good job of managing and getting what we thought was an onside recovery. We get that ball. There's no doubt in my mind the Cowboys will go down and score.
One of the more interesting matchups this weekend will be your starting quarterback versus Vince Pollard, who's the head coach of the other team. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I'm thinking about calling them and asking them to hold off the blitz and give us a little time there. I don't think he would abide by it, but nevertheless, it may be worth it. You guys know how I feel about Coach Jerome. He means the world to me. I have the utmost respect for him as a man. I respect him as a football coach and what he has done with that program at LSU. We go back 25 plus years. Our relationship, and it'll be a big deal. It'll be a big deal for several of us. He'll be going in that stadium to play against his dad.
They're asking about Coach Ogeron. I'm on that, be like,
for my son who grew up on that campus with all of those people, with campus police, with that administration, with some of that coaching staff, Chris Raymond, who's a receiver specialist for us. His dad, Corey Raymond, is on the staff, of course. It's a big deal for Chris Truex, who played there, and get a chance to go back there. You know, one of the things that is personal for me every day when I'm a coach there, we got dressed in a Christopher Truex locker room named after his son, which is extremely sentimental to all of us. And so, so many of us, Blaine Gaucher, you know, also who coached us, spent time there. Danny Cameron, working at campus, campus support. There's a lot of people in both ways for both of us, for several of us, and it'll be fun. We'll go compete and we'll give it everything we can.
Coach, you were on that staff in 2015, and that's probably one of the most more unique ways to end the ball game with the rain out.
Yeah.
Reflect on that a little bit.
Yeah, the Cowboys had the lead by yards for sure. I think that's what everybody tells me. You know what? It happened so quick. I think it may have been a series or two, but even more so, I guess maybe 3 or 4 years before that, Cowboys came to Tiger Stadium and took the lead, scored first against the Tigers, and played extremely well for sure for a half. And so we hope to replicate that. We'll make sure our team remembers that once upon a time a McNeese Cowboy team went into Tiger Stadium and gave the Tigers a fight, you know. And so we want our team to know that the odds are stacked against us, but we got a shot, we got a chance, and we're capable if we're able to play to the best of our ability.
Coach, you said it was unacceptable. That's the word, right? Unacceptable. You cannot miss a field goal. You can't miss
A PAT.
Well, the field goal and the PAT. All right. So you're saying it's unacceptable as the PAT?
Yeah.
Okay. You're going to maybe miss a 32-yard field goal every now and then, but in close games like that, and looking down, you have to have those forks on the board. What can you do at this juncture with the kickers that you have to get them aligned and get these kicks aligned?
Yeah. So we have 2 more that are on our roster that will have it's open competition, and we'll audition 2 more in tomorrow's practice. We have yet another that just got here, that's on campus, that was an all-district, second team all-state kicker in this state. He'll be on our team tomorrow, and we're gonna find it. We're gonna find a way, and that by no means counts out those young men that have already kicked for us. They'll have an opportunity to continue to be coached and thrive, to put themselves in position to better themselves. But we'll do everything in our power to find a resolution, whether it's with the current guys that have kicked or guys that are on our team who have not had an opportunity to kick in a game, but have worked extremely hard to earn an opportunity and a way forward. And so we'll use every resource that we have to remedy that concern.
Not to beat the pony, if you will, but when you looked at the film, did you see anything, or did you talk to Gary in regards to the snap, the angle?
So one of the PATs was a snap. Was a hold.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Snap was good. It was a hold. And so that one's a wash from the kicker's perspective. The other PAT and the other 2 PATs in the field goal, we made contacts. Operation was good. We was wide and errant in the attempt.
Hey, anybody on Zoom have a question for Coach? Go ahead and unmute your microphone. You have a question for Coach.
Hey, Coach. Jared Joseph with Fox 44 in Baton Rouge. How do you keep Cody focused during what could be a week of headlines about facing his dad?
Yeah, you know what? I think he's mature and wise in his young age. That he's played in a lot of football games for us. He understands. It's another game for us. Is it a little different in the sense that it will be the first time you've ever played against a team where his dad is a coach? Yeah. But I think he's mature enough where he's put that in perspective. We've talked about this long before this day and this moment coming through the spring season, and even when it was scheduled back then, and how we would approach it. And I think his approach has been one that has been one of a young pro that understands film study in anticipation of the things that we could possibly see, in preparation and readiness of the things that we need to do to be successful in this game. So he's been very calm, and that's his natural disposition. And I don't anticipate that changing. I think he'll handle it extremely well.
Coach, this is Josh Sibley with Louisiana Gridiron Football. With your return to Tiger Stadium and your quarterback and the past week and a half or so, how impactful is this game for the state of Louisiana and your program overall?
You know, it's a big deal for us just to be able to go play football again. We know also well what it is to go through a hurricane season as we endured two a year ago. And so our thoughts, our prayers was and still are for all of those guys in Southeast Louisiana who have gone through those things, that were without power or damage to their homes, their facility, their families. And so it's very concerning. One of the first people that came to our aid by way of 18-wheelers by the truckloads was the LSU Tigers, sent by their president and their athletic director, Scott Woodard, along with Coach Ogeron, to make sure we had necessities to be able to operate. And so we're forever grateful for it. I think for them to be able to get back into their stadium, into their normal routine, is a big deal for them. For us to be able to go there, another state school, to play in this game, I think bodes well for the state of Louisiana and for both Southwest and Southeast Louisiana, as well as North Louisiana as a whole, Central Louisiana, for to come together, where two of the premier programs in the state of Louisiana get a chance to compete.
Go back to the Saturday, the defensive line pressure, lack thereof. Looking at the film, was it Austin Reed being able to get the ball out quick, or is there something that you think you can do maybe a little differently?
Yeah.
You couldn't blitz. It seemed like they had 4 or 5 receivers out.
Right. And so what happened, we got some hits on him. We had about 6 hits on him. We had some hurries on him, but the timing, pass game of catch and throw, catch, hitch, and throw really doesn't allow you to be able to get the pressure that you would desire. They're not a true drop back team where it was a 5-step, 7-step drop and a long progression that would allow you to get there. We came close a couple of times, got hits on them, but just unfortunately wasn't able to get home fast enough. I do think we affected throws at some times. He's a very good quarterback, very accurate, and does a really good job of getting it out of his hands or throwing it away and not taking a sack even when there is pressure coming.
Anybody else on Zoom have something for Coach?
Yeah, I have one here. It's Brett Martell here in New Orleans. Good to see you again, Frank. Yeah, hey, I was wondering, just, in your vast experience, how rare it is to have a game where the head coach on one team who specializes in one side of the ball is going against his son on the other team who is on the other side of the ball as well. And just, I mean, just if you can reflect with a little humanity here, as opposed to just, football only. I mean, how complicated can that get for the parties involved?
Yeah. Here's, in the spirit of sportsmanship, both teams are going to go out to want to win the game. Intention to inflict anything else beside win, I don't foresee, certainly not on our end, and I don't see on their end. We're going to play football, and we coach, we play a volatile sport that involves contact, that is sincere. And so that'll naturally happen for both teams. We'll play that way, that style of football, and it's the only way you can play. And so we welcome it. We welcome the opportunity. Again, thankful to be able to go there and play this game. And I expect the very best from LSU. There won't be any empathy. I promise you that. They're not feeling sorry for us. They're trying to win their first game of the season just as we are. And so we'll go compete.
Have you ever seen a situation though play out like that in any game you've been involved in any way?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Not against an opponent and Dad, who was the other on the other side of the ball. No.
Anything else from Zoom?
Hey, Frank, Sheldon Mickles at the Advocate. How you doing today?
Good show.
Hey, how did Cody play the other night? I know obviously he had a career high in yards, but how did you look at the way he played him and the way he brought him back at the end?
Yeah, I thought he played well. Certainly there's some things we need to clean up. He is imperfect as the rest of us are and the rest of the team is. But I thought his decision-making was good. He took care of the football, which is most important. He did not give it to the opposing team in no manner, whether it was in the throw game or times when he had to rush. I thought he managed the game well, was able to get us in the right protections at times, and then the correct run game at times as well. And so I think his game day management continues to flourish. Couple opportunities of some things that we need to tweak with him to enhance his game, to allow him to maximize his potential. I think he's extremely accurate, and we just got to keep on cleaning up those little things around him to allow him to maximize that potential, to get the ball to the right guys at the right time, and to be able to check it down when he needs to also.
Thank you.
Anything else? Coach, I got one more. Saturday marks the 20th anniversary of the terrorist attacks on the country. You were head coach at OP Walker back then. You mentioned just a little while ago how important it is to play sports to help. It's like just help people through things. Can you reflect back on that time when you were the head coach and what y'all went through and get sports back?
Yeah, I remember I dropped my daughter off to daycare. I was headed to work and listening to sports radio, and what appeared to me as an accident. Airplane had crashed into the World Trade Center. And so he was, oh my God, what has just happened? And then they say a second, and you're like, a second? And then the reporter or the disc jockey, whomever goes, the United States are under attack. The United States are under attack. This is under attack. And I get to the campus, to school, and our principal was in there with the leadership of our high school at that time, and we had never seen anything, the likes of that Pearl Harbor, but I wasn't around it, and so we're blown away, and it was a sad moment for our country. It was devastating. It was inhumane what was done to us as a country at that time with innocent people. And it just really was a time of reflection. At that moment, you wanted to do nothing else but console and be there for one another and get your loved ones near you, because you don't even know what's in the sky. It's something out of the movies. You don't know where the next one, Wolverines or Red Dawn, whatever that is, some type of, you don't know what's going to happen at that moment. And then I remember, President Bush at that time addressing everything about it. And I believe the first game posted, why do I feel like it was a baseball game? It was, right? It was the Yankees. Yeah, it was the Yankees, right? And I remember the Yankees decided to play, and it being a very prideful moment for our country, that this will not stop us. This will not deter us. We will move on with a civil life, and we'll continue to progress as a country. And was extremely proud of us as a country, because sport was the one thing that could bring us together at that moment.
And the natural disasters you've seen over the past few years, I mean, that continues the same way.
Whether it was 2005 Katrina and the Saints going back into the Superdome, whether it was last year, in our little small world here, post Laura, post Delta, the first time we could go back out there after the devastation we encountered, and to be able to wrap our arms around and live by for the city, because it was important for Southwest Louisiana to be able to show resiliency, and similar of what some of the things that are going on right now in Southeast Louisiana. So sport has always been the thing that has brought us through.
Well, quick follow-up, if you don't mind. This game seems to harbor distractions. With Cody, Pops, Hurricane Ida going back, maybe a little post-traumatic for some of your players, and then of course the distraction of playing at LSU. It has distraction written all over it. I mean, the maturity of your team, and will there be a little bit of extra after counseling and communication said, okay, this is football, X and O.
Yeah.
And of course, to Matt's point,
Yeah.
I'm sure LSU will have some type of 9/11
Yeah,
memorial.
tribute. Yeah. You know, I think it's a healing. I think it's therapeutic to play. I don't think it's an hindrance. I think to play the game, to put all worries aside and to go play with, in my humble opinion, God's greatest sport, America's sport. I know people say baseball, but for us in our world, it's what we do on Saturday nights. And to do that in Death Valley will be a beautiful thing for all.